help me cope with this heavy load, trying to touch, reach you with heart and soul.
Back is George's introduction to the Krishna book. It was mentioned, I think possibly mentioned before. George, back in 1972, 71, he gave a donation of $19,000, a lot of money back then, for the first printing of the Krishna book. It came out in two big volumes. And George wrote the introduction. That's George's introduction. And those are some of the illustrations from the original printing. In fact, one time, devotees asked Prabhupada, George, he's like your disciple, isn't he? Prabhupada didn't know. He's like my son.
There's also a backstory. Prabhupada's on the mountain. He saw how far we were progressing. He pulled us up the mountain. Krishna book, he told me, I'm not writing this book. Krishna's on my shoulder dictating this. It was so sweet. Well, we decided that we wanted to give to John, to George, just give them, not take anything. This was very important. John was not happy with people wanting things, as I said. Prabhupada says to Samashunda, I would like you to ask George to print this Krishna book for 19,000 pounds. Samashunda said, Prabhupada, we've just been giving things to George. We've been very careful not to take anything from him because he's very sensitive about this. Prabhupada said, that's all right, ask him. You make me the bad guy. They went to the poet laureate's house, David Wynne, in the country. They had dinner. Samashunda was wanting to bring this up, but the timing, Samashunda was really reluctant to do this, but his spiritual master asked him to. Dessert came around. He still didn't ask him. Finally, Samashunda bolstered up the courage. George, Prabhupada has written this book, Krishna book, and he'd like you to publish it, to pay for the cost, 19,000 pounds. George's face changed. You could see the machinations of his mind. His color changed. His countenance changed. And suddenly, there was big thunder from the sky, shaking the house, and lights went out. David Wynne had a generator, portable generator. He put the lights back on. George was smiling oceanically. Krishna, must you be so theatrical? Of course I'll pay for it.
I'm sure you're a witness to quite a few amazing events yourself in terms of synchronicity and Krishna's hand in.
I was with Prabhupada, not enough. I still wanted more time with him, so I went out really early in the morning in Mayapur, chanting loudly like a little baby so he'd hear me. What is that? Who is that? Oh, it's Gurudas. Come on. I go in early in the morning. We had a very nice talk about a letter we were writing to Indira Gandhi. The next night, I'm chanting loudly. Oh, Gurudas. He comes out. He goes to the balcony. It's the one building we had in Mayapur, the Lotus House at the time. Prabhupada goes to the balcony and says, the farmers, they're asking Krishna, give me water, give me water. And Krishna says, all right, take it. And when Prabhupada went like that, the water came streaming out of the clouds. All right, take it. Prabhupada didn't make a different face, he just walked into the room.
Let's hear another one. Anything more like that?
Well, Well, it's just like when the butterfly jumped on his fingers at John Lennon's estate. He didn't make it. Look how great that is. He just went on to the next thing. Where I like to photograph him is each expression was full. But soon after, he said, open the window so that butterfly can get something to eat. You see, he saw into the hearts of all living entities.
Is there more music?
There will. I just want to get the prasadam on the roll so that it can be served while we're chanting, while we're singing. So just bear with me. Just tell another couple of.
Well, like I said, George was becoming more and more serious about Krishna consciousness, but he was going through his own life struggles. So much so that Patty, his wife, a very sweet woman, got disenchanted, and I'm meaning the pun. She got disenchanted, and because George was having more time with us, she wanted, come on, George, let's watch the telly. George is there with the devotees again. George is there chanting all the time. If George is chanting, he's not talking to me. So she went with Eric Clapton. Well, George Newman, he was angry at first, but he soon got over it. And then they had tea.
The English always have tea. So we're going to sing a bit more now. If the guys want to come up.
Well, there's an interlude. Devotees need care, especially when they're getting elder. A lot of them are isolated and alone. And so my present sadhana and something I'm doing is called Vedic Care Charity Trust. And if anybody is interested, I will hand this out to you. It's about our activities, but the idea is to have retirement villages for isolated, all sanghas, all gurus, all people are welcome. It's not political. It's people who need care. And so now people are starting to respond as they're getting older. So if you're interested, I'll get one of these from me. You can become a member. The member is, if you don't have Lakshmi, an hour of service a week. It's a very wonderful organization. There's great response. We might be getting a place in Hertfordshire. We looked at it the other day. Prabhupada said we need land, people, and Lakshmi. So if you're interested, please, I'll give this to you and you can see what these activities are. Vedic Care for Welfare.
Okay, so if you don't like the drumming, blame me. I played the drumming, but it's a recorded loop, so you sit at the drum kit, record it, and then you just play it back.
Thank
watch out now.